Good morning, Pillar College. Good morning. My name is Ingrid, and I am from the Career Services Department here at Pillar College. Today, I am joining and teaming up with Vinell Spied. She is the Associate Dean of Information and Resources, and she is going to be sharing some wonderful tips that are very vital, especially when it comes to career development and job search. And she's going to share some resources that we can use as we're, furthering along in our professional development. Vinell, thank you so much for being with us today. I can't wait to see what you're going to share. Before we start, I would like to just open up in prayer. So let us bow our heads and let us give thanks to the Lord for today. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for the information that you're going to be imparting to us. Father God, I pray that you use Vinell in a mighty way as she begins to share all of these resources, Father. I pray that through these resources, our students and alumni will be able to find opportunities that will help them, Father God, especially during this time. I pray for those that are here and those who will be joining in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, Vinell, I'm so excited to have you here. Can you please share a little bit about yourself, about your position here at Pillar College, and then go right in to your presentation?
Okay, thank you, Ingrid, for having me, inviting me into this workshop. So I'm the Associate Dean of Information Resources, and at Pillar, I joined Pillar in February of this year. And of course, unfortunately, we went remote in March. So I was on campus for maybe 2 or 3 weeks before we went remote. So I have met a lot of students, but hopefully next year will be better and we will see each other, all right? I've been a librarian all my life. And I must say, when I did the research for this presentation, I realized that, a career is something that you really need to do, put a lot of work into your career development. But my career development was just someone saying to me, I think you'd be a great librarian. She was my supervisor and I said, okay, I did it. I love it. I have been a librarian for almost 40 years. So that was my career development, a simple recommendation. And I've been a librarian all my life, working in academic libraries, school libraries, here and there, special libraries and public libraries, of course. I've also worked at Newark Public Library and East Orange Public Library here in the US. So I'm happy to be with you today. And I have some resources I want to share. Now, I won't be able to explore all of them, but what I want to do is to point you to the resources, at least to some of them, and then you can maybe make a note, or when you go back to the recording, you can explore them further. So without much further ado, I'm going to start sharing my screen. I do have a PowerPoint, and then I will go through that. And at the end or wherever you can ask your questions, I think Ingrid will look at the questions for me, and then we can try to answer some of those. So I will be sharing my screen with the PowerPoint first. Okay, let me not share. Let me. Oh my God. Just a minute. Let me find my presentation.
No worries, no worries. And while you do that, I want to share my first tip. So as Vinell is getting ready, I will be sharing tips here and there. But for the sake of not having dead air space, the first one Vinell touched on is to know your career goals whenever we're discussing or speaking about career development and opportunities. You want to make sure you know your career goals. One thing that she mentioned is recommendations or having someone kind of point out her calling in life, right? And
Yes.
that's what kind of motivated her and say, wait a minute, there's something to this. And so she began to set goals. She began to look in areas that was going to help to supplement that vocation for her life. So it is always important to know exactly what it is that you want to do, especially if this is your first time coming into the workforce or if you're thinking about changing your career goals. All right, Vinell, back to you.
Thank you. Okay, so yes, sometimes it is a puzzle. Sometimes we find that persons are even in college and they have started a major and then they are not sure. So what I have on the screen now is a little puzzle that you need to put together when you're thinking about your career. So there is sometimes it entails a lot of research. And as you see there, research on your right. And sometimes you have to do some self-assessment, some reflection, talk to persons like I did, because the person who encouraged me, she was a librarian and, you know, she could tell me the pros and the cons of the career and the areas that I would probably fit into better. And also, once you think of the career, you want to gain some experience. And oftentimes it is very good to gain that experience while you are in college. While you're doing your degree, it's always good. And that's why the internships comes in very handy for that. So sometimes it's a big puzzle that you have to fit together. But if you just have an understanding of the different areas that you need to look at, like these areas here, then it becomes much easier for you to do. And so I always start with research. And it's a good place to start. So what I want to do next is to take you to our library resources, because we do have some career links here on the library page. And I'm going to go back and just take you to how to get to the library resources. So you start out at pillar.edu, and I'm sure everyone knows our webpage. And then you go to My Pillar at the top here. And once you click on that, you are in the student dashboard and you just scroll down to the online library.
Is there a way that you can share that specific screen, Vinell?
You're not seeing the pillar screen?
No, you have to reshare that screen. We're still looking at your slide.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So we are at Pillar College now. You're seeing this one. Are you seeing Pillar College?
Yes.
Okay, so you go to Pillar College first, and then My Pillar at the top will take you to the student dashboard. And on the student dashboard, there is the online library, the bookstore, everything for the student is there. And so we are going into the online library. And in the online library, you get to the online resources. And these are our databases that you log in with your email. But for the career links, we don't need to log in here. So I'm going to take you straight to the career links at the bottom. And the first one we have there is NJ Next Stop. And NJ Next Stop really gives you some information about New Jersey, the different careers. There are some career videos, how to build your career, where do I start? And also there is Career One Stop in here as well. I'm going to try and take my time. So Career One Stop, you can find training. You can do job search. You can find local help. So here it has apprenticeship office finder, job club finder, and there are quite a lot of tools in here. You can explore your career. You can do self-assessment, and we're going to talk about self-assessment a little bit more. And you can learn about career profiles, your career clusters, salaries, set your career goals. All of that is in Career One Stop. Interest assessment, occupation profile. So there's a lot of information in Career One Stop. And so you can write that down and then you can go back and explore it. And you can get there from the library page. The next resource in here is NJ Career Assistance Navigator. And so usually, so when you get here, NJ Can, you just click on New Jersey resident. And then it's gonna ask you for your city. And your zip code. And you can sign in. Once you have signed in, then you have a lot of resources available to you. You can plan your future. How do I create a career plan? That information is in there. You can do an assessment. Now, most of the resources will have a combination of assessment, jobs, and job profile. So usually we can call it like a career one-stop because a lot of the resources will have all these different tools that you can use. It will talk about the various occupations, education requirement, which schools match your preferences, and where you can find jobs, how to succeed on your jobs. And usually they give you a lot of assistance in there, right? So if you just want more information, you can click on more. How can I keep my job? Very important. And so you might want to go in there. So this is NJCAN, New Jersey Career Assistance Navigator. I think also, let me see in here, where can I get help paying for school? How do I compare schools? Where can I study? Financial aid information is in there as well. New Jersey scholarship. So it's very good. This is a tool that you can use to find out where you can get financial aid and how you can get assistance to study, right? And in terms of the occupations, it helps you also in choosing occupations, talks about military careers, where can I learn about working for myself and so on. So it's a very good tool. NJCAN, New Jersey Career Assistance Navigator. And the other one that's in here is ONET Resource Center, also another good source. And ONET kind of organizes the information according to whether you're a counselor, you're a student, you're an HR person, you're doing research, or you're a developer. So I go into students, and in ONET, there is a very good profile assessment where it says self-assessment. And so you can go in and just answer some questions here and assess yourself, and you'll get a score at the end of it. And I think this is very good. This is very useful. And also it's user-friendly because you see it has a little emojis and so on. So as you go along, you answer the questions and assess yourself to see if the major you're doing matches your personality, if it is what you should be doing, and if you think that maybe you're suited for another. I actually did one of these, and I think it was saying that I should be an accountant because I'm so organized, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be an accountant. So but basically it points out your interests, and therefore what career type would be most suitable for you. I like this one. Also in here, we have my next move. What do you want to do for a living? If you're still unsure, if you're sure, you can search your career here. I know it when I see it. Here you can browse to find out what is available, what is popular, what is trending, and so on. And then if you're not sure, this is going to take you right back to that test so that you can be sure. I also want to point out that ONET also has it in Spanish. So mi próximo paso, and then it is here in Spanish. You can do, you can search, and you can do the test as well in Spanish. I like ONET. It's very easy to use, and it has a lot of information in there for our students. So those are the links that we have in our online resources that you can use. There are some links over here. There are some links here on the reference, I think. It says job. This one, Career Builder, I think we are all familiar with Career Builder, but most of these, well, the Federal Job Digest, I think that works. Yahoo Careers also works, but this one doesn't work. But we're in the process of updating the website. So I will add some more links to the website so that we can have more career links in there for you to be able to find career information. I want to pause here for a minute and see if there are any questions to get into the online library. Any questions about the online library? Because those are the resources that are there, but we will continue to update and to add some more resources. After this, I'm gonna go into some other resources that are available on the internet. Any questions on the
online? So far, I don't have any. Yeah, so far there are no questions in the chat, but if anyone wants to ask a question, please, this is the time to do so.
Okay, so I will continue with the PowerPoint presentation. So I mentioned research before, and that we really need to do a lot of research and try to find some the information that we need. The Occupational Outlook Handbook. I'm gonna have to copy and paste this into
So we do have a question from Kirbel. Kirbel, I don't know if you want to ask your question yourself or if you want to type it in the chat.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so this is her question. Who can access the links? Just associate graduates or anyone just starting out?
Anyone can access the links.
Yes,
once
so
you go to the Pillar website, anyone can access the link. And for the other resources that you need a password, all our students can use their Pillar email. I don't know if that answers his question.
Yes, she says, got it. Thank you.
So you're seeing my page now. I'm at the Occupation Outlook Handbook.
Yes.
You're seeing that. Okay,
Yes.
so the OH, as we call it, is a publication of the Bureau, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. And this is updated like every 2 years. So it's very up to date. I remember going through when I just came to live in America. I remember this was my first source. I wanted to see what the job trends were, because it's very important for you to know which jobs are trending, which jobs are going to be available when you graduate. So it will give you an outlook on, that's why it's called Outlook. It will give you an outlook on the careers that are going to become available in the next couple of years. Sometimes it's like 5 years. Sometimes it's like, it may go up to 9 years and so on. So it will give you the occupation groups. It will give you the median pay, so you know how much you should be earning when you graduate. And it will give you the number of jobs projected, so that you know if you'll be able to get a job when you graduate. Now, a lot of times students are in careers and they're not even sure if they will be able to get a job in their field. As a matter of fact, I think most graduates aren't working in the field that they are trained for, because they didn't do any research. And so you find that a particular field may be oversubscribed, and therefore it becomes difficult to find a job. I know that usually that is not important for students, because this is what they love, this is what they want to do. And so they will just decide that this is what I want to do. So let's look at business and financial, because I think that's an area that's popular. And so it will give you the various occupations in there. It will give you a job summary. It will tell you what's the entry level education requirement and your median pay. Now, when I looked at this, I just went straight down and say, oh, let me see what's paying the highest salary. Maybe I want to be a financial analyst because they are paying 81,000, right? But I know that usually we love a career, and that is what we
No, ellos están rápidos. Mira, esa vitamina no la esperaba yo rápido.
Sorry, can you mute yourselves, please?
Okay, so so this is a type of information that you can get from the Occupational Outlook Handbook. It is correct, it is a government source, and therefore it is very reliable, and you can get a gist of what you're in for. It has a lot of information in there, so usually, and it's updated pretty regularly. So this is a good source for you to use as well. And then we have what we call My Major. We talk about Career Builder already, and we know Indeed.com is where you can find jobs. USA Jobs is also another place. ZipRecruiter, we know. So I want to look at My Major and maybe USA Jobs, because I don't think we can go through all of them. So here is My Major, which will give you a list of career titles. It also does assessment. And of course, most of these, they will ask you for personal information. Some you have to provide you have to create an account. And here you can find your career major. So let's say we are doing education. Education. Teaching assistants. It will actually tell you what they do, what majors are related to that, and so on. So my major will help you to assess the major you're doing to ensure that this is really what you want to be doing. It also points you to some colleges. And assists with college search, where you can get information, but you're not interested in that. You're only interested in finding out more about your major. So you have already found your major, but you might want to explore it a little bit more to see exactly what you can find in there. And the last one I'm going to go to is the USA jobs. And this is a federal government site. Of course, you can find jobs. Make your resume searchable. Apply for jobs in federal government. You can upload your resumes and your documents, and you can save your favorite searches. Here again, you have to create a profile. Student and recent graduates. So you might want to look in there and see what is available. If you're a recent graduate, you may be eligible for federal internships and job opportunities through the pathways and other student programs. So you can find information on internships here as well. Department of State Student Internship Program. And there is a whole lot of information in here. You just need to have a little time to look. I thought that the pathway programs was very good. Virtual Student Federal Service. There's a lot in here, students. I would encourage you to spend some time in the US in there if you are interested in government jobs, and take a look around and see how you can connect. Now we have some other resources, and I just call these, some of these sites, they do interviews, they do job search. Like I said, a lot of it is integrated. So you will find that most of these websites do very well cover all the various areas. There is also New Jersey Career Connect. I'm not gonna look at that one. I want to look at Glassdoor is very popular. Prompt. I think I might want to look at Prompt. I don't know why these links aren't taking me in there, but let's look at Prompt. And Prompt helps you to practice interviews. And you can also find a mentor in Prompt. So it's free. You don't have to pay. Some of these websites that help you to practice interviews, you have to pay, but Prompt, you don't have to pay, and you can always go in and see they're gonna ask you to sign up, and you can connect with Facebook, right? And so you can go in and do a real simulated interview. so that you know, and usually they have system design, these are specific jobs, but if you're in the behavioral science, or if it's a behavioral type of interview, then you can go in. So I would write this down, and when you have some time, you go in and check out prompt, because I think that's also a very good source. Glassdoor is also very popular. And here again, it's gonna ask you to connect with Facebook or with Google, and you can find jobs in here as well. This one is for employees. And there are also some reviews in there. There is help on how to prepare for an interview and to compare salaries. So Glassdoor is kind of new, and it's also very helpful, and it's one of those sources that I would recommend as well. Handshake. I don't know if anyone has heard of Handshake.
Actually, yes, we are in the middle of preparing to launch Handshake here at Pillar College. So we're
Okay.
currently in the implementation process. I'm working really hard with Handshake as well as the IT department to get this application up and running, hopefully for the spring, early spring, so that the students and alumni can have access and create their own profiles and upload their resumes and start, making themselves available out there in the job market.
Because this is like the most popular college tool for students. Right here, you can find internships, you can attend virtual recruiting events, which is very important because that is how you're going to build your networks, right? So remember that attending these events, job fairs and so on, is how you get out there, is one way of getting out there, meeting persons and so on. So you can get an overview. They tell you how to get hired. You create an account, you fill out your profile, and you apply to your jobs. And it's very helpful. Connect with alumni and other employees at organizations that interest you. So Handshake is very helpful. And I hope we get going soon, and so that we can have Pillar College in there. I looked at the list of colleges and it was a very long list. So hopefully we can get in there and begin. Now, once you have done your assessment, you have done your research, you are sure what it is you want to do, then you need to be able to gain some experience. And there's an internship cycle, and the cycle really depends on where you are. So you can start anywhere in this cycle here. But it basically involves identifying internships, and I'm going to, these are some internship websites over here, internships.com, there is wayup.com, and there is idealist.com. And these are places that you can find internships. Once you identify, then you gotta apply to them and become familiar with their internship programs and so on. Read the fine print in the internship programs, because a lot of times students have expectations that the internships really do not, and so a lot of them make it clear. So be sure to read up on these internships before you decide that this is the place you might want to go. A lot of times we have been trained to think that, oh, this is a very popular company, and so I want to work here. This is a Fortune 500, and I want to work here. But is it the right fit? Is it going to give you the best experience that you need so that you can begin to move? Is it going to give you the right connections, right? So usually it will give you a lot of connections, but are they fruitful? Knowing a lot of people is not always the key, but knowing the right people who can connect you to the right people, that is really what is important. So you try and gain some experience while you're in college. Look out for good internships. And I think these are 3 very good internship websites: internships.com, whale.com, and idealist.com. And it's very important that you network. What do we mean by network? So networking, well, I think we all know, networking is how we connect. It is how we connect to persons who have similar interests, similar professional interests, so that we can develop our career, we can build, we can get jobs, and we can get the right jobs and the right experience. Some of it, out of it, we can get mentors who can help us as students. We are here, we might be new to the work world, and these are persons who can help us connect. The thing about networking, don't ever just go into it for what you can get. Be genuine in your interests and try to connect where you have similar interests. Not just, again, I want to say, not just because this company is a great company means that it is the right company to connect to. Know what your interests are, what it is that this company is promoting, and then you want to connect. LinkedIn, everyone is familiar with. Now, some persons are always looking for alternatives, but LinkedIn is one of the most popular. It has the largest. And I do like the way how LinkedIn works in that it will update you on your connections, new skills, and so on. So it is still good. It is still current. There is a one in Europe that is similar to LinkedIn. I think that's called Zing, Xing. And that's also very popular more in Europe. But LinkedIn is for us here in the US and Canada. There is also Let's Launch or Meetup. Well, Let's Launch and Meetup. Meetup is where you can connect with professional groups as well. Let's Lunch is more that you want to go out to lunch and have a lunch meeting, so to speak, right? Shaper, you create your profile in there and it matches your profile and connect you to other persons. Shaper is becoming very popular as well. And we have the good old Facebook, and you can begin to create your own Facebook groups, maybe with your graduate this year. But one of the things I want to point out about Facebook is that even if your Facebook is private, you can let your profile be public, right? So that persons just scrolling and so on, they can see that your interests and see that you're in a particular field. I remember commenting once on Facebook about, I think it was something about the US government, and somebody said to me, somebody commented back that, oh, it is, you don't know how the US government runs. And I responded by saying, I am sure I know more than you. And the person said, somebody else commented, oh, don't play with those librarians. So because my profile is public, I guess they went and checked and see that I'm a librarian. And so I know I have facts or access to facts. And, you know, so let your profile on Facebook be public, even though your timeline and your photos and so on can be private. And you can create your own groups in there. Somebody sent me something for a group in there. And at first I was like, I don't want to join this group. Why am I joining this group, sister friends? But then I joined and I realized that there are quite a few writers in there. So join the groups. If you're given a group request, join them, go in, see what they are about. Sometimes you can even change the focus of the group if you're that kind of person. And then you can get to connect, find out person's interests while you're in there and use it to your best advantage. But also with networking, remember your alumni links. And so that's also a good place to start.
Vinell, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Tanya Williams wants to know, is there a site that can assist with writing a good resume, or is it best to hire someone for this?
There are lots of sites in there. I'm not sure. I think I may have some, but most of the sites will give you resume assistance. But I think I have some on the final. I have one on the final slide.
Also, Tanya, if you need help with your resume here at the Career Services, that is what we're here for. So you can always feel free to send me or email me a copy of your resume. I can look it over, review it, and make some suggestions. I'm going to be hosting a a resume clinic soon. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be sending out invitations. So yeah, those are resources that we have here at Pillar College as well, if you're looking for free.
Yes, and remember that the ARC, we have tutors who can help you. Professor Watkins, right? He's a writing specialist and he can also assist with that.
Yes.
You
Amen.
might want to.
Yeah, in fact, Professor Watkins and we are working on that resume clinic, especially
Right.
now that the holiday break is coming up. This will be a perfect time for everyone to start brushing up on their resumes and getting help, as well as your cover letters. So be on the lookout for that invitation and feel free to email careerservices@pillar.edu for more assistance on resumes.
Here again, we have some, I think, career fitter. We have some, we're talking about self-assessment and reflection. The list on, no, let me not go to the list. Let me go to career fitter first. These are some websites. Job quiz will quiz you career path, will help you to organize your career path and your career planning. Career fitter. Career Fitter also has career tests that you can do. And it gives you a free career report at the end. There are also some resources down here. Salaries, education, work experience, job training, your best careers for you. And there is a lot of resources in here in Career Fitter. I thought this was a very good website. And so your work, personality, energy, those are good articles to read. Your core strength applied in a work environment. So have a look at Career Fitter. If you want to do the career test, then you can go ahead and do that. Career path. Let me go back to my, I don't know why these links aren't working. Career Path, Decide USA. This is also a government website. This one is actually very good as well. It gives you, I think it gives you a lot of tools and a lot of assistance. Let me try. I think I want to show you this one. USA. And here it talks about the different pathways, the groups of careers. So if you click on each one, it will take you to the different pathways in these careers here. Connected pathways. So this is also a good website. Again, it's a government website, and so it will give you a lot of government job. And it tells you about the 3 steps. And you can basically find your career in here. Let me see what they say about an accountant. What they do. It gives you the salary, tells you the task, job listing, occupational hotspots. That's DC. Where's Jersey? Maybe New York. Average salaries. This is a very good website also for work experience, the top skills, and so on.
You're not sharing your screen, Vinell.
Not?
We're still looking at your slides.
Oh, career path decide. Okay.
There we go.
So this is a very good website. You can write that down as well. Career Path Decide. It's by the USA government learning career guides, and it's occupational details, tells you what to do. You can set your career goals. Also, you can save your information in here as you go along and build on your career. And to my right here, I have a list of startups. If you're interested in starting your own business, and Angel List is very good, as well as Gus.com. Summary is really for portfolios, and these are becoming very popular. So you might want to go and have a look at Summary and see how you can create your resume and line that up with your career story. And because a lot of companies are now asking you for a web portfolio. So that might be a new area, but there is help out there on the Summary. And so you can get a lot of assistance there. Remember, and so that is the end. I think I've gone over my time. Remember that most of these websites, especially the ones I pointed out earlier, NJ Career Assistance Navigator, NJ Can, OneNet, ONET Resource Center, all of these assist you and Career Builder. Some of them having templates that you can use to do up your resume and so on. Most of them will give you assistance in all the various areas that we talked about before. How you do your research, where you can assess yourself and evaluate yourself to ensure that the career that you have chosen is really where you want to be, and so on. My next move, all of those will help you in making the decision, in reassessing. Remember now, the reassessment and the reevaluation is a daily thing. And it does not mean that you go on to talk about, to do a whole revamp, but just maybe, oh, I don't want to work in public libraries anymore. That was my reassessment. I want to stay in academic libraries. And so I decide now, okay, this is what I need to be an academic librarian, and this is what I'm gonna do. Here is where I'm gonna get my experience. So you can really come up with a plan. And if you find that you're where you don't want to be, then you can know what will be your next move to get you exactly where you want to be.
Amen. Thank you so much, Vinell. That was such a fabulous presentation. I was just like glued. I'm like writing stuff down. You have shared so much valuable information. And to all of the students here at Pillar College, you are now in a situation where you can really sit down and plan ahead. This is so important for professional development. And here at Career Services, that is exactly what my goal is in helping all of the students to stay on track, to stay focused, to know where it is where you want to go, how to get there. And Vinell has shared with us those fabulous resource links to help us prepare, to help us not only prepare for exactly what we want to do, prepare for interview. That's so important. I love that website where you shared where they can practice how to have those interview skills. That is so important. Here at Pillar College, we want to do that as well. So if you ever want to schedule a mock interview, please feel free to make an appointment with the Career Services Department via email at careerservices.pillar.edu, or you can call the school at 973-803-5000 extension 1029. Thank you for that information where they can get some resume help. That is so important because, was a summary that you said, that's the name of the site where they can match their resume to the skills. That is a skill that we need to have, because we need to make sure that the items that we're placing on the resume are those items that are going to help us to get the job that we're applying for. And that is so important. Also, those job research resources are so important. We need to know where to go to find that job that we're looking for. It's more than just applying for a job. It's living out the career in which we're studying, right? Also, networking is so important. You touched up on LinkedIn, which I appreciate, because those are also future workshops that we have planned where we're going to share how to create a profile, how to navigate LinkedIn, how to socialize, how to add people into your network, how to share your resume and upload all this information that's going to help you to be marketable. I appreciate that you touched up on digital portfolios. That is definitely a must nowadays, especially now in this time of COVID where things are being done virtually. It is important that you begin to start building those I call them career assets, because it's something that you're going to need in order to kind of pitch to these companies why they should hire you. So I appreciate that. And most of all, expand your skills by doing your research. Vinell has given us so much to chew on, and it all can start with the Pillar College website, where she just went into the student portal, went into the online library resources, and start from there. So thank you so much. I hope that this has served you all, not only the students, but also alumni. These resources are available to you as well. We are here to answer any of your questions and to help equip you with the tools that you need to continue on in your academic journey. We're here from you from the moment that you step foot in Pillar College to the middle of your journey, all the way until you're ready to exit out into the workforce. All of this is here available to you free of charge. We're here to help you. And there is one last question. It says, I have one last question. Where can I find the recording of this workshop? And I am going to be sharing that. I will send out an email blast with the links. And I am also going to be posting it on the Student Life Facebook page. Once they have finished upgrading the Pillar College website, all of these links will also be made available through the Career Services tab. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks again, Vinell. That was great. Thank you so much. Any other questions before we sign off? Please feel free to ask. I'll give you guys another minute or so in case you may have any questions. Again, we have a resume clinic workshop coming up. We have a handshake launch, so be on the lookout for that. We have the LinkedIn presentation. We have a digital literacy and employability workshop that I'm working to help the students and alumni understand the importance of digital literacy in the workforce.
Yeah.
It's very important, yes.
Very important.
Yes, especially when it comes to creating your digital profile. And you spoke about something about the Facebook page and privacy. You can have your personal profile where you would like to keep it private. I always suggest to create a business page where you can put your information and strictly stick to whatever is concerning to your professional development, what you're going to share there in regards to your career, where it is public and people can see it. And it has a better reach than a personal profile. Personal profile. So that's something that Career Services is working with alongside with the Associate Dean of Information and Resources, as well as the ARC. So I see that we have no other questions. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in to spend this hour with us. We look forward to serving you guys more with great information. Again, you can find Vinell. You're on the first floor. Once we get back on campus, stop by, say hello to her. She's amazing. And thank you so much.
You can call, they can call me.
You can call her and you can email her. And so thank you once again. God bless everyone. May you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if we don't speak until from here to Christmas, may you all enjoy your holiday. God bless. Bye.
Guys, have a great weekend.